10K back to school haul.
Now for $1,000 for back to school.
My $700 back to school haul.
Huge back to school shopping haul. I'm really excited.
Let's do the biggest shopping haul ever!
So what you're seeing right now isn't back to school shopping. No. It's so much bigger. It's a wild, out of control consumerism that has taken over TikTok and has put immense pressure on both kids and parents. What used to be a simple, almost boring ritual for some pencils and maybe a pair of new sneakers has morphed into a high-stake competitive performance. It's like every family has been unwillingly cast in this reality show back to school battles, where the goal isn't to be prepared for class, but to win the approval of this massive invisible online audience. This isn't about just spending money. It's a full-blown arms race of aesthetics and anxieties. From the simmering panic in elementary school pairing shopping cart to the carefully constructed personal brand of a college freshman's dorm room. This isn't about needs anymore. It's about performing an identity, and today we're gonna get into it. Hey Queens, my name's Alyssa, and I have to be honest with you, this topic hits really close to home for me. I know it all too well what it's like to be on the other side of social hierarchy and be constantly singled out and ridiculed for not having the right stuff. I was brutally bullied in middle and all the way through high school, physically, verbally, emotionally, so watching this play out on a massive amplified scale is very personal to me. Today, we're gonna break down why these back to school hauls have gotten so extreme starting from elementary and all the way to college, what it says about us and who's really paying the price, and why this kind of content is really problematic for our mental health, and how you and your kids can start finally breaking free from this whole media frenzy. Alright, let's start where the pressure cooker really begins to hiss, elementary school. You scroll through TikTok and you'll find the same character all over again, an anxious parent. Their cart is overflowing with not just stuff from the actual school list, but with duplicates of everything, brand name everything, and this bizarre collection of just-in-case items. I mean, the supply list itself is already a huge point of contention, but these hauls go way far beyond any teacher is asking for. So why are they doing this? Well, you'll find the real story in the comments section. It's not about being prepared, it's about protection. So many parents will just flat out admit they're terrified their child will get bullied for not having the right stuff. You'll see TikTok moms who are meticulously color coding every single item, not just to be organized, but to build a tiny fortress of identity for their child, and the fear is palpable.
Did you know that you have to have the right colors for school this year to be popular? I have 3 in high school and then 2 in elementary. And so now I have 5 kids sitting in the kitchen going through school stuff. So they have the right color codes to be cool.
And the fear was captured perfectly in this TikTok debate where a creator, a mom, that was devastated after she had bought her daughter special Disney-themed princess pencils, only to be told they will be unceremoniously thrown into a communal bin for everyone in the class to use. And this kicked off a firestorm. Parents flooded the internet furious that the beautiful, expensive, character-themed supplies that they had purchased for their children being swapped out for generic ones.
Call me petty if you want, but yes, I will be labeling every single crayon, pencil, and glue stick my child brings to school this year. Why? Because I invest in quality supplies for my child. Ticonderoga pencils, regular crayons, Elmer's glue, not the cheapest, but they work better and they last longer. Last year, she came home with random off-brand stuff I know I didn't buy because the supplies were all thrown into a community pile. And what gets me even more heated is when teachers specifically ask for those same name brands and I send them in only for my kid to come home with something different.
You can find viral videos of parents writing their kid's name on every single crayon in 168 crayon pack.
It is back to school week for my kiddos. And back in July, my husband and I bought their school supplies so that way we could be on top of things and label each individual crayon, of marker, all of it, before the week of school.
Or moms that are now fiercely anti-communal because their daughter's beautiful folder was replaced with a generic one that ripped in a week. The fear has turned into this defense mechanism. It's like they're gearing up for a battle where social survival is tied to what you own. And there's a strange contradiction at the heart of it. While parents are giving or trying to give their child every single advantage, they're also teaching them a lesson in social division. Instead of fostering the sense of community through sharing, this mindset reinforces the idea that their belongings are superior and only meant for them to use and not everyone else.
I'm in Texas and my daughter's starting pre-K 3, and I'm seeing all this commotion about parents and teachers arguing about labeling school supplies. And this is my first child going to school, so I am confused. But I saw the labels online and I bought them. And I only bought 50 labels because I thought the labels were only to label things like the binder, the folder, the journal, the coloring box. I didn't know that there was parents labeling colors, pencils, erasers, and every tissue in the Kleenex box. Anyways, this has me on a trip because I'm just like, I feel like as a society, people have forgotten how to share. And that's why there's a lot of kids that they're like, no, it's mine and mine and mine and mine. Because the parents are also stingy and they're like projecting onto their children.
And the pressure is huge. According to the National Retail Federation, the total spending for K-12 students is expected to reach $40 billion this year. That's an average of $858 per family per household, which is a jaw-dropping amount, which really speaks to a culture where your social status is linked to what you own. The whole ecosystem gets even more tense when you bring in the communal supply debate. On one side, you've got parents who feel like their hard-earned money has been thrown into the system where their child gets the short end of the stick. On the other side, you have the teachers who are oftentimes shelling their own money to fill in the gaps. You can see it all over TikTok with teachers giving a tour of their empty classrooms and then doing a haul of supplies that they had purchased with their own money. Multiple surveys show that 90% of teachers use their own funds for classroom necessities. According to a 2025 survey, teachers spend around $900 of their own money for classroom materials.
Hey friends, come along with me while we go shopping for school supplies. This year, our PTO gave every single teacher at my school a $200 gift card to Walmart so that we could put that towards our school supply purchases. And y'all, I'm not even kidding. I don't know what I would have done without that gift card this year. I didn't even buy anything out of the ordinary. However, inflation must be really getting to us because my total at the end was almost double what it usually is.
This entire system is running on not having enough. Not enough supplies, not enough social status, not enough belongings. This constant feeling of scarcity provides a high stress environment for parents that are being fearful that they're not able to provide enough for their children. While kids learn early on that their worth is tied to what they own, planting the seeds for social anxiety and pressure to conform. So if elementary school is all about the parents' anxiety, middle school is where the pressure gets handed to the kids themselves. This is the age where peer influence becomes everything, and the main goal is not just to avoid being made fun of, but to climb the social ladder, and the currency for that climb? Brands. The middle school haul is all about getting the it items. For the last couple years, it was Stanley Cup. Now it's a dizzying rotation of trends. The right Lululemon bag, the right Nike sneakers, and most bizarrely, the right skincare. The whole Sephora kid phenomenon is a perfect example of this. TikTok is just filled with stories of 10 to 12-year-olds flooding into Sephora and demanding high-end skincare like Drunk Elephant and Sol de Janeiro, which are completely and totally unnecessary for their young skin. You see this play out in the halls of middle schoolers, and one TikToker posted a video which perfectly captured the vibe. It's the satirical take on the middle schooler who's trying to convince her mom to use her dad's credit card at Sephora to get that high-end living proof dry shampoo because her hair was too greasy to go to school.
Hi guys, I was having the crummiest day today, so I convinced my mom to let me stay home from school and go to Sephora. My mom said we could go back in a few days. She just said we don't want to make it too noticeable, all the charges on my dad's credit card. Firstly, and why my day literally started off terrible. It's all because I was out of living proof shampoo, and as you can tell, my hair is so greasy. I was literally not gonna go to school like this. Like, no.
It's played out as a joke, but it reflects this very real trend where somehow makeup and skincare, high-end skincare, are considered school necessities for middle schoolers. These hauls are a performance of social awareness, and the hauls, the videos for middle schoolers, are getting massive views. They feature very specific brands like American Eagle, Hollister, Garage, Aritzia, which nowadays have become the uniform. It's not just about clothes, it's about curating a very specific look. And the hauls have become very meticulous. They're not just showing off a new shirt. No, they're showing off this really cute baby doll top that they will wear on their first day to school. The pressure is to show up on the first day of school having mastered all of the trends, signaling that you belong in the popular crowd. It's a full-blown glow-up, and back to school haul is just the receipt. And parents find themselves caught in the middle, and they're caving to the pressure because the social stakes are astronomically high. And unfortunately, the primary concern shifts from what will my child learn to what will my child wear. It becomes a desperate attempt to purchase social insulation for kids in the brutal environment. Okay then, now we get to high school, where the game changes yet again. It's not enough now to have the right brand. Oh no. You have to curate them into a distinct, public-facing personality. This back-to-school haul becomes a project in personal branding performed by a very discerning online audience. And the stage performance for this? What's in my backpack videos. These videos are a master class in aesthetic curation. It's not just about function, it's about signaling your tribe. You've got the clean girl aesthetic backpack, a single organized binder matching the backpack color, and of course, a pouch with makeup. Then you have preppy or coquette aesthetic, which is full of pink, cute stationery, and a Lululemon lunch bag. Every single brand, starting from the color-coded highlighters to the very specific brand of hand sanitizer, is a deliberate choice meant to build an image. This is where we see the emergency kit trend spiral into complete absurdity. And what started out as a practical little pouch has become a spectacle of a manufactured need.
These are the things you must bring to school with you so your crush doesn't catch you lacking. And will 100% help you beat school. I don't want to be the kid with BO that no one will sit beside. We're gonna have one on us at all times. Girlies, if you want to smell good all day, you need to bring a perfume. Just for a quick little touch up, you must have multiple lip options. Liner and lip stain. Lip stain tends to last longer. Some lip balms. And of course, some lip glosses. Girlies, everyone wants juicy and plump lips at school.
These cute pouches are called emergency kits, school airbags, or checker bags, and they're usually filled to the top with lotions, a bunch of deodorants, compact mirrors, eyelash curlers, beauty blenders, powders, and so on and so forth. And the message is crystal clear. You have to be prepared for any social or aesthetic crisis at all times. It's just a social anxiety neatly packaged into a designer pouch. And the emergency here is not a scraped knee. It's to be, God forbid, caught on camera without perfect hair or makeup. And the irony of the whole situation is that while students are preparing for a lip gloss emergency, the actual focus on academic readiness just becomes an afterthought. The whole has become the main event, and the performance of being a good student online has become more important than the quiet offline work of actually being one. This obsessive curation turns learning tools into fashion accessories, where aesthetic value of a notebook is more important than the notes that will be written inside of it. Some creators will openly admit that they don't even bother anymore with the official school supply list. They just buy whatever fits the aesthetics and will look good on camera. And if high school was just all about the performance, a college dorm hole is this big splashy Broadway debut of your so-called quote-unquote adult identity. For new freshmen, this is a major life event where they have complete financial and creative control, and it's happening publicly online. These aren't just shopping trips. They're meticulously planned projects in interior design and personal branding. It's like they're building a movie set, an impeccable movie set for the next 4 years of their lives. And TikTok, of course, is overflowing with come dorm shopping with me videos.
Guys, I'm in TJ Maxx right now in the throw pillow section. And I'm realizing that this is very monumental because whatever throw pillow, whatever accessory pillow I choose is going to be what my whole entire room, my whole entire dorm is going to revolve around.
Where creators take us on a walk through Target, IKEA, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, filling up multiple carts with items that fit the pre-planned aesthetic, whether it's a boho chic or a preppy minimalist. The holes feature matching bedding and storage bins, air fryers, mini fridges, these elaborate stations with Nespresso machines and LED vanity mirrors. It's not about what you actually need in a dorm, it's about creating a space that looks like a luxury apartment for the next 3 years of your life. And the dorm room has become a mini showroom. It's going to be the background for every get ready with me video where they're about to film. It's like they're building a movie set for their own perfectly girly college experience. The planning is meticulous, starting from a single pillowcase and spiraling into custom-made headboards, mini fridges, all to fit a specific vibe. It feels like the excitement is less about the education they're about to receive, but more about the thrill of buying aesthetic things. However, the excitement for all cutesy mugs and carefully chosen rugs will fade away quickly once the college life begins. Once the grueling hours at the library, the academic pressure, and the sleepless nights kick in, those aesthetic props, they won't feel important anymore. This pressure to create a perfect space has spawned its own counter-trend, expectations versus reality, showing how out of touch the dorm room fantasies can be with the reality of a tiny cinder block room and an immense course load. And the cost, we're on a different level entirely. Back to college spending is in a different league. The National Retail Federation projects that college shoppers will spend an average of about $1,326 each. The total spending is expected to hit a staggering of $88.8 billion. And let's be clear, most of that is not for textbooks. The biggest expenses are electronics and dorm room furnishings. The whole is no longer about preparing for class. It's about preparing your life for public consumption. You're not just buying a pillow, you're buying the right pillow to complete the look. What's truly tragic is that a genuine excitement for higher education and building a future career gets completely overshadowed. The primary thrill becomes spending a small fortune on a hyper-curated temporary living space where the actual pursuit of knowledge feels like a secondary detail. So who's to blame for this mess? Well, an easy answer would have been point finger at influencers and brands for pushing out products and creating these trends. And yes, they're definitely a part of it. TikTok algorithm is designed to show you what's popular, and once a certain backpack or a water bottle goes viral, it starts feeding this relentless cycle of demand. And the rise of TikTok shops has only accelerated this, turning content into a seamless shopping experience. But it's too simple to say that it's just influencers and corporations. A huge part of this pressure is now peer-to-peer. It's the fear of being the only one who doesn't have a trendy new thing. The fear that lives and breathes in the school hallways and in online comment section. The need to belong is a powerful human drive, probably more powerful than any ad campaign could ever be. We're now seeing a counter movement with creators posting their broke edition or budget back to school hauls. On the surface, it sounds like a positive thing, but in reality, it just reinforces the idea that a haul is something you have to do. These videos don't really challenge the culture of mass consumption itself. They just repackage it for a smaller budget. The underlying assumption is still that you need to buy a huge pile of stuff to be ready for school. What's really happening is a fundamental shift. Back to school shopping used to be about function. Now it's about identity. It's about signaling your social status, how plugged in you are with the trends, and your ability to keep up. It's a reflection of a society where our worth is increasingly measured by what we buy and how we present ourselves online.
This is the cup that we got our daughter for Christmas. This is not a Stanley. This is a $9.98 Walmart cup that she said she thought was cute. She is 9 years old. On the second day back to school after Christmas break, she comes home. She's not crying. She's just upset. The girls, all the other girls in her grade, I'm not saying all, maybe she said 9, 10 of them, all got Stanleys for Christmas. And they made sure to let her know that this is not a real Stanley, that this is fake and it's not as cool. So she comes home, she's upset. She asks if she can have a real Stanley. Do I think that a 9-year-old needs a Stanley? No. Do I have one? Yes, I have one. I don't have 50 Stanleys in all different colors. I'm not going to Target and fighting other women or moms to try and get the new Valentine's Day Stanley. I have one. So that being said, before you come at me, if you're a mom, if you're a parent, and you can do something to keep your child from getting made fun of, to help fit in, you're gonna do it. So we went and bought her a 30-ounce Stanley. In our area, at our local Ace Hardware, these are $35.
This constant cycle of wanting, buying, and showing off online isn't just expensive. It has a serious impact on our mental health. This is a core concept in psychology called social comparison theory, where we determine our social and personal worth based on how we stack up against others. TikTok and other platforms have supercharged this, creating a highlight reel of consumption that can make anyone feel inadequate. A 2015 study found that using social media for social comparison was associated with depressive symptoms, especially among young girls. For girls especially, this pressure is linked to body image issues and lower self-esteem. This fire hose of whole content creates a culture of manufactured need. The aspirational nature of these holes suggests that the only way to achieve a perfect life is by consuming more goods. This puts an immense pressure of both kids and parents. Kids feel the anxiety of not fitting in, while parents feel the financial pressure and guilt of not being able to provide every single item for their child. It's a recipe for stress, conflict, and the dangerous idea is that our happiness is something we can buy. I was one of those kids who got bullied a lot for not having the right stuff and wearing the latest trends because my family simply could not afford it. And I don't judge the parents who buy the most expensive things for their kids because everyone wants their child to have the best stuff. However, I believe it starts from home. It's about you teaching your child that wearing expensive pair of jeans or sneakers does not put them at the top of the ladder of the social hierarchy. So how do we break free from this frenzy? And the answer is not just to throw away all of your devices or delete the apps. It's about building awareness and setting boundaries. First, communication is key. Parents can lead by example and talk openly about the pressures they feel from social media. It's important to have honest conversations that separate needs from wants and also explain to your child that whatever they see online is not reality. Second, this is a perfect opportunity for financial literacy. Involve your kids into the budgeting process. Give them a set amount of money and let them make the choices, which teaches them about trades-off and responsible spending. And this shifts the focus from impulse buying to making informed decisions. And finally, we have to remember that while social media dictates us what we have to do, in reality, we hold the power. What if parents came together and used social media as a powerful tool to influence? Imagine a counter movement where TikTok's algorithm is not flooded with holes, but with realistic shopping trips, budget challenges, and honest conversations about what kids actually need for school. Think about it. If a community rejects the idea that social status comes from a shopping bag, they can collectively break free from this overconsumption cycle. I'm not invoking a revolution here, but we hold the power to change the narrative with one post, one shared comment, one story. Which brings me to the big question, and I genuinely want to know what you guys think. Where do you draw the line? What is a reasonable amount to spend and what is completely out of control? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. What do your school supply lists look like anymore? Have you ever felt the pressure either as a parent or a student? When it comes down to this explosion of back to school hauls, this is so much more than a TikTok trend. It's a giant mirror reflecting our deepest anxieties at every single stage of growing up. The fear of being unprotected in elementary school, the battle for social rank in middle school, the performance of a personality in high school, and the branding of an identity in college. It's a cycle of fear, comparison, and performance, where kids are scared of being left out and parents are scared of their kids being left behind. And while getting a new backpack, a new pair of jeans, or buying Disney-themed pencils can always be exciting for children, of course, but we have to ask ourselves the big question. Are these piles of stuff and flashy, expensive, brandy things preparing our kids for school or for a lifetime of trying to keep up? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I will see you next time. Bye.